ngayong araw na to. Maraming salamat at sumasama na naman kayo. Nakaabang na. Hindi pa nga tayo nagsisimula, nakaabang na ang ating mga beshies para sa episode natin ngayong gabi. Dahil napaka-special na naman. Marami tayong mga malalaman, marami tayong maiintindihan because many of our guests, lalo na yung huling guest investment expert natin is also a financial literacy advocate. Bago ang lahat, ipapaakyat ko na ang aking beshi rin. Warren, akyat ka nga. Tingnan mo na kaano siya ngayon. Rocker mode. Hi, Warren!
Hi! Hello! Hi, Salve! Hello, good evening mga viewers natin. Ito, galing ako sa labas, kaya ganito yung itsura ko. No? Nag-ikot-ikot kami sa labas with the family, just driving around, trying to enjoy the day. And also trying to keep our expenses down. Kasi grabe, alam mo yung balita this week? Yung inflation.
Grabe.
Ay, nako, grabe. 4.7%, highest in 26 months.
Di ba? Trinay mo na bang mamalengke lately?
Oo, every Saturday morning, palengke time, and pakonti ng pakonti ang naiuwi namin from the palengke. Sobrang hassle talaga yung nangyayari ngayon. And what's worse is people are expecting it to move higher in the next coming months. Base effects, pero also yung problema sa pork, yung problema sa fuel, sakit sa ulo yan. Hanggang May daw, hanggang May, akit pa yung inflation.
Ko pa naman sa adobo.
Ay, nako, diba?
Okay.
Adobong pork or adobong baboy, adobong manok, pareho problema.
Parehong mahal. Magpapasalamat lang tayo si Kevin is watching in Kumu. We have Melanie. Kev, thank you. Si Melanie. Then, si Jenny Lynn. Nanonood din siya. Si
Hello, Jenny Lynn.
Hello,
John. Hi, guys.
Ayan, ang inyong mga followers. Ito daw, nakakatuwa nga Warren kasi itong YouTube live natin, nagiging financial Saturday na talaga ng maraming tao here and even in other countries, yung mga Filipinos na excited pa rin mag-invest, mag-ipon, lalong-lalo na dahil sa mga natutunan natin, na experience natin during the pandemic.
Maganda yan, di ba? Pag Saturday, ibig sabihin dapat couple manood. At maganda yan dahil this episode, meron tayong segment about couple, di ba?
Sige, kaya po yun.
Couple money management. Ayan, sige, go.
Napaka-interesting kasi ng ating guest mamaya. Iko-connect niyo yung pag-i-invest sa? Ikaw na magsabi.
Ay, sa lahat. Lahat. Love life, pati sex life, lahat. Connected lahat sa pera mo. Ayan, ang galing niya. Ikinig ka dito sa somebody I really admire who's helped me throughout my career in as a business journalist. He takes the time to really explain things to the reporter. So it's great to have him on the show, and he will take the time to explain to all of our viewers tonight kung ano yung dapat gawin sa panahon ngayon na pandemya, taghirap, taas ang bilihin. So let's pick his brain later.
Oo nga, parang 1997 crisis pa lang kinakausap ko na yun. So alam na kung gaano ko katanda. Renz Liano is watching again from Kuwait.
Hi, Renz.
Jenilyn Lacerna Escaño is watching yet. Also is watching.
Hello.
Aris Baloran again is watching from Italy. And Jem Ruiz,
regular sila.
A very, very good friend from Business World Days pa yan. Magkasama na kami niyan. And then Ishingel and Casa Buena. Noel, before everything, we have two great guests lined up today. I would love to share with everyone an interview that I had recently with a couple who mean the world to me. Sobrang love ko yung couple na to, and they teach finance and marriage rin. So bukas lalabas ko yung kanilang lalabas ang full episode of my interview with them. Sana sumama ka, Warren, kasi sobrang sweet, sobrang sarap at nakakatuwa kasi parehong alpha to. Si Joy Mendoza and Edric Mendoza, parehong alpha. So guys, kung nakikinig kayo ngayon at kayo ay may asawa na, paano ba mag-uusap? Rosano Ibanez, siguro kamag-anak ko nga yata siya. Watching from Ginabata. So ang tanong dito, kung pareho kayong alpha na mag-asawa, paano nyo maiiwasan yung mga explosions pagdating sa financial management? Kasi ang hirap-hirap nun, di ba, partner Warren? Kailangan talaga marunong kayo. And Joy and Edric Mendoza will teach us how. Can we just watch this very short snippet?
Johnson ask really difficult questions about how couples manage their money. So, do you sometimes fight about money also?
Go, be honest. This is honest, go.
I think in the beginning, when we didn't have a system because you need to really have, you need to have open communication about finances. And I think that when we came into the marriage, we didn't know how to have those discussions properly.
Mm-hmm. Nobody teaches you that in school, right?
Right. So I think it wasn't until we discussed money roles in marriage that it was a lot easier.
And when we had an appreciation of our background, I think that matters. So Joy came up with a family with money. She didn't really have to think about these things. Where I was well provided for, but I learned even in college how to find ways to hustle. Right?
I know you said you
work.
were kuripot.
Yes, I was so I had to find ways to work, and I always had that ethic of I'm going to try and find a way to make this happen and earn this. Well, she was like, if I need anything, it'll be given to me. So that became an interesting stress point sa simula, di ba? Yung parang, although it was not overt, it was like, she would say, why is it that we were tight in our budgets? I'm like, hey, look, I grew up being able to find ways to make things work. So I was working.
Felt like she was confronting you with it. Why is
it felt more stressful for me because it's like, I know.
Some of these things I'm hearing for the first time.
So I already knew.
It's like counseling.
I already knew that, I was already stressed because I was trying to make it work, right? Trying to earn enough for starting a family and our marriage at the start. But hearing her say those things like why are we tight? Why is it that when you look at the credit card bill, you're gonna have to find other things? Because ever since I think I've been a racketeer, diba?
Yes.
I have a main thing, but I always have other things I was doing. So I think that, to be honest, was a stress point. She was used to that kind of environment where she was well provided for. I was always used to being the one to find a way to hustle and get these things. So even if I felt like it was stressful, I would have a plan. I would find a way. In her mind, she would just see now, bakit parang you're stressed now, or we're having to do this, or can't do these things. Right?
Can you recall? I think you're trying to remember one.
I'm trying to remember if we ever said it like that before.
Right.
I think it was more of I had to grow in my understanding of the realities that most people go through when it comes to handling finances. And it's not that my parents raised me to be spoiled, but like Edric was saying, we just didn't have to think about money. So that was a blessing, right? At the same time, I think I had to grow in my appreciation of how hard Edric would work.
And learning to work with budgets.
Right.
That's a big one.
To work
This
with
is a big
budgets,
one.
because before, at the beginning, I would always go to him and be like, I think I went over budget. And then he would always say, okay, fine, I will rescue you. But he said, but you really have to learn how to manage budgets. And the great thing is, every year we would have conversations, these money conversations, where he would he always likes to spreadsheet everything. So our lives are on a spreadsheet, even our finances were on a spreadsheet.
Did that stress you out?
No, actually, it's very attractive.
Whoa! you get that? Get this on camera.
Nakamute pala ako.
Nakamute ka.
Sa atin. Narinig mo ba yon?
Ang ganda. You need to grow as a couple financially. You need to learn how to deal with each other's how each of you treat money. Ang galing kasi separate yung nila, yung trajectory nila, different. Yung si Edric, although well-to-do yung family niya, sabi niya kailangan din niyang mag-hustle para kumita. And then Joy naman, used to having everything delivered to her. So kailangan meet in between, diba? They come together and learn how to be a couple together. Also in terms of finances and budgeting and everything. So alam mo yung pinakamaganda nakuha ko doon is yung communication. It's a very, very good communication. They understood or they understand where they came from, and they understand what it took to become closer together in terms of their financial life. So great stuff from Edric and Joy.
Favorite ko rin doon yung ending kasi tawang-tawa talaga. Kasi kung na-stress out ka ba dahil naka-spreadsheet yung buhay nyo, and Joy goes, I actually find it very attractive. So, alam nyo na,
Yes.
guys, lahat ng lalaking nakikinig sa stream na to, i-press 1 nyo nga, lalo na sa mga nandyan sa Kumu, if magsisimula na kayo mag-spreadsheet para mas attractive kayo sa inyong mga si Warren, ready na kanyang spreadsheet. Dinah, Charm, and Kevin, thank you for watching on Kumu Classroom pa. Maraming salamat at nandyan na naman kayo. Thank you so much. Ayan, ang dami pong nagpipress 1. Magsi-spreadsheet daw sila para sexy sila sa kanilang mga asawa. And speaking of pagiging sexy sa mga asawa, meron pang isang very nice couple that I would love to interview and bring up on the stream, DJ Nicole Yala.
Magandang gabi, sabi! Hi,
Warren!
Di ba? Kahit yata medyo nagkakasakit ay magigising sa kanyang hello.
Hello sa inyo! Nakakatuwa naman. Thanks for having me here. Parang bagay na bagay talaga yung caption. Gastadora ka ba? Ang sakit naman. Tinamaan ako masyado. Grabe! Gastadora ka ba?
Worried ako doon kasi yung nakalagay parang okay lang ba yun kay DJ?
Okay lang yun. Actually, nung shinare ko tong stream na ito, yun din ang caption ko. Gastadora ka ba tulad ko? Well, this live session is for you, tutok na.
Diba? Kasi totoo naman, Nicole, important talaga na tanggapin muna natin yung katotohanan bago tayo makapag-transform into the new Darna of the world.
Yes. Pero feeling ko I need a lot of sessions with you guys. Bago ma-achieve, pero at least achieve ko na yung number 1, do not have a credit card. Yan yung number 1 achieve ko na yan, na-establish na. Speaking of couples, ang ganda nung sharing kanina ni Joy and ni Edric, mga lodi talaga silang dalawa, no? And it's really important to communicate regarding finances. And isa sa mga kinommunicate namin dalawang mag-asawa is that I should not have my own credit card. Siya lang! Dapat sa kanya, siya lang at nakapangalan sa kanya. Oo, ganon.
Kaso mo, pag online purchase, pwede mo namang gamitin yung sa kanya.
Diba? Sharing na naman ng details, passwords, okay na, diba?
Pero nakaka-guilty. Once I tried it pero nag-guilty ako middle of it. Kung hindi naman to sa akin hindi ako nagpaalam.
Maraming tao talaga nagsabi dun sa sa title na yun, I feel so attacked, Miss Salve.
Yeah! Oo. Parang ako talaga to, di ba? Na-attack sila. So I'm not alone. Marami tayo. Yan.
Kailangan talaga natin tanggapin yan. So, on the spot muna kita kasi bihira lang. Guys, kung hindi nyo pa napapanood or napapakinggan si DJ Nicole, you should listen to her on Love Radio. Talagang magigising ang umaga nyo. Magigising kayo sa umaga. And she's one of the leading women in the Philippines based on CNN Philippines Awards for Leading Women. At March na ngayon, DJ Nicole. Kaya importante ulit i-highlight ang mga kababaihan na nag-empower ng iba pang kababaihan. Ay, ayan, wait lang. Meron kang fan. Ayan, DJ Nicole.
Hi,
wow,
Tambalanista. Hello!
Tapos meron pang isang comment from Facebook also. Aray talaga yan. Gastadora. So, DJ Nicole, hot seat. Ano yung pinakang worst na pagiging gastadora na nagawa mo?
Nag-purchase ako ng... Nandito kasi asawa ko, nakakainis Pero alam niya naman to. Alam niya naman to. Nag-purchase ako ng Chanel na bag.
Magkano yun?
Hindi ko kasi siya eh. Hindi, alam niyo naman na 300 plus.
Ay!
Oh, that's my
emergency fund yun ng mga simpleng
Yes. Oo, totoo. Yun yung pinaka, I think in terms of luho, yun yung pinakamahal na nabili ko for myself. Na hindi na kinabang yung iba. Kasi, like, kunyari sa sakyan, at least pamilya naman kami, ganyan. But, pag bag kasi ako lang talaga yun eh. Tapos, lagi ko lang keep in mind na pwede ito masanla, pwede ito mabenta, mamamana to ni Princess. Mga ganong pagpapaliwanag sa sarili at sa asawa ko. Ganyan, oo. Sabi ko, hindi ito mababa ang value ng Chanel na bag. Ganyan. Yun.
Ngayong pandemya, Warren, nagagamit ba ang mga Chanel na bag?
Ayun na nga eh. And actually, alam mo sa totoo lang, I bought it right before the lockdown. So talagang wala talaga siyang use. Wala talaga siyang use. Kaya nung nagkaroon ng medyo easing up of restrictions, tapos there was a very, very not naman so important na meeting that I attended. Hindi ko lang siya nagamit, na hindi naman naintindihan ng mga tao na gamit ko yun. Yung mga ganun. Kasi doon talaga na-realize ko na, oh my gosh, itong mga bagay na ito ay hindi mo pala kailangan kapag ka-pandemya. Hindi ko talaga siya nagamit eh, because parang I bought it ng Feb, tapos wala naman akong ganap hanggang nag-March 15. Wala na. Hindi na.
And, alam mo, pandemya, di ba? So, medyo mahihiya ka rin na lumabas na medyo magkarbo yung gamit mo. Di ba? Yung mga tao na naghihirap eh, di ba? So, that's another thing na you should take into consideration in these times. Di ba?
Yes.
Kasi you have to be sensitive to other people's situation.
And alam mo kung ano pang isang walang saysay? Shoes. Sobrang adik ko sa shoes, promise. Akala na asawa ko, ano ka ba? Octopus ka ba? Ang dami mo bang pa? Bakit ganyan? Bakit ganyan? Bibili ng bago, tapos hindi siya nagamit. And in fact, madami, I guested on a show recently, na pinahiya ako ng shoes na yun. Palibasa, 1 taon ko siyang hindi ginamit. Ako pa yung naging cause of delay, kasi pag next step ko, naiwan yung swelas. naging malato kasi na hindi nagagamit. So maraming ganon.
Walang ventilation, di ba?
Yes. At I'm sure lahat ng mga naging gastadora tulad ko, pero na-realize namin lahat talaga yan, promise, na may mga bagay siguro na dapat mas mag-invest ka na lang rather than yung mga bagay na parang short term lang yung life nila.
Yeah. Meron na siyang sarili niyang lessons in life.
The pandemic taught.
But I think that as a financial advisor nga, I think it's important for us to realize our weaknesses. Kasi pag hindi natin tinanggap yun, hindi tayo magpupunta dun sa next transformation natin. Diba? If we're in denial of who we really are and what our weaknesses are, hindi tayo matututo at hindi natin maiisip kung paano natin ma-overcome yon. So I'm excited, Partner Warren, being you're also a financial advisor, di ba? Are there sneaky ways for even those who are gastadora or ano ba yung panlalaking nun?
Gastador.
Ayun.
Gastadora
at mga gastador, even for them or us, dahil, kahit financial advisors, nagagawa din natin yan. Paano sila makakapag-ipon pa rin? Paano makokontrol yon? Diba? Kahit hindi ka pa expert sa pag-control sa sarili mong emotion, are there sneaky ways to do it? Kasi mamaya, yung susunod na guest natin, although investment expert siya, he's also a financial literacy advocate. Gusto natin to ask him also about this. Pero, Partner Warren, ikaw nga muna. Being the...
Makikinig ako! All ears!
All ears.
Sige. Meron tayo, yung lagi natin sinasabi on the show. You pay yourself first. When you get your money, when you get your salary, save first. Savings first bago ka gumastos. Meron din yung mga auto-debit na pwede mong i-arrange with your bank, lalo na pag sweldo, pasok agad sa ATM, di ba? Pwede mong sabihin sa bangko mo na, ay, ilipat nyo kagad sa savings ko na isa pa. Para hindi mo na makita. Pag tingin mo sa ATM mo, nabawasan na yon, napunta na sa savings mo, di ba? And even if gagastusin mo na lahat ng yung buong laman ng payroll account mo, nakasave ka na, di ba? Nabawasan na yung gastos mo, nabawasan na yung expenses mo. So we keep on saying that on the show, pay yourself first. Savings muna bago lahat ng expenses mo. And you know what? The next guest will have so many more tips and more on investment. And again, I really like this guy because early on in my career, I was able to really interview him a lot, and he helped me realize a lot of things about yung investment possibilities and financial literacy and how to look at money, treat money. It's Jonas Rivera. So let's bring Jonas on to the show. Jonas, come on.
Pasok, Jonas. Hi,
Good
Jonas.
evening.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi!
Ayan, so guys, pag hindi nyo pala, uulitin ko lang yung sinabi ni Warren kanina. When you talk about market strategies, people like Jonas have been here, have been doing forecasts on the market since we were babies. Joke lang.
Ang sakit.
Hindi na, kasi nasaktan na si DJ. Nasaktan na rin natin. But really, Jonas is
Grabe.
one of the experts na dumaan na sa maraming crisis. And he's also very passionate about financial literacy. Jonas, diretsuhin na kita. Ano pa yung ibang sneaky ways how gastadoras and mga gastadors can save money? Kahit na, alam mo, minsan talagang hindi mo maiwasan yung sarili mo. It's something mental, it's very emotional, spending is very, very fun for maraming tao.
Okay.
Are there tips
Kanina,
that you can
listening to
share?
DJ Nicole, naisip ko agad yung pinakamagandang word, contraception. Strategy. No? But first, I guess kung gastador o gastadora, lahat tayo gastador at saka gastadora. Ang keyword ngayon, sulit o harang. When we need to buy something, think of that question. Sulit ba yan o harang?
Nice.
Diba? So it's
I love it.
ano ba yung gamit, yung bibilhin mo, kailangan mo ba yan? Ilang beses mo magagamit yung produkto o pang-arte lang yan? Sometimes, it's an impulse. So, minsan, nasa grocery store tayo or nasa department store. Nakita natin yung produkto. Naisip mo, ano yung pwede? Babayaran mo na, di ba? Minsan, the best way to use is a card. Don't use cash. I normally suggest a cash card. Bakit? You just transfer a certain amount of money doon sa cash card so you limit your spending.
Fantastic.
At the same time, if you use a cash card, nawala yung cash card mo, pwede ka lang pumunta sa bank and they can have it replaced. So it's easy. Diba? So you limit your spending. So at the same time, minsan mahaba yung pila, nagmamadali ka. Hawak mo na yung produkto. Suddenly, feeling mo, hindi mo naman talaga kailangan, iiwanan mo, di ba? Unlike pag cash, ready to buy ka talaga di ba?
Yes.
So, it prevents you from doing things. Minsan, may pera ka, wala kang cash. Pupunta ka pa sa ATM.
Ayaw mo
May time
na.
na mag-isip kung kailangan mo yung bibilhin mo. Di ba? It gives you that time to think. Di ba?
That's
So,
true.
kung minsan may kailangan ka, pwede mo bang hiramin? Kasi baka one-time use lang.
Yeah.
Hiramin mo. Diba?
Oo.
Kaya yung word na sulit o harang is very important nowadays.
I love it kasi ang simple isipin, di ba? So, DJ Nicole, alam mo na, sulit o harang, just think of those two words and then it will give you the time. It will give you the time and the space to think about whether you really want this thing or not. Si Charm on Kumu said, grabe, ibang klase na octopus si DJ. Octopus. Okay. So, DJ Nicole, we will bring you back in during the Q&A segment.
Sure.
But please do stay. Don't leave us because
Of course, baby. I'll just be here.
then you'll have the chance to ask more questions from Jonas. So, what's our next na, Warren?
Oh, we're gonna talk about, of course, yung market strategy for the next coming for the year? Let's go for the year. Pero short term, always go long term, but we want to know what's going to happen in the next couple of months and of course for 2021. Jonas, please take it away.
Okay, I guess the first things first is to really think about our situation. So, the present situation of where we are is that we're all in the same storm, different boat. Okay? Ibig sabihin, whether you're in the US, you're in the Middle East, pare-pareho yung problema natin. May pandemic, iba-iba yung solution natin from where we are. Now, may mga ibang tao na maraming pera, wala silang problema. Diba? Their problem now is to spend that money. For some people, you have to count your bullets. Diba? So ngayon, how do you do that? First, you need to think of survival. You have to count hanggang saan ba yung pera mo, diba? So the second one eventually is how do you pivot to the new normal? How do you do that? You assess all your assets, and your assets are not limited to your house, to your computer, or what other things. What is the most important today is yung nasa utak mo. Ano yung napag-aralan mo. You do a certain set of these assets so that you're able to understand how are you going to move in the coming months. Diba? And start repurposing certain things. Diba? Kung dati, mahilig kang mag-order online, ngayon baka kailangan isipin mo paano magluto. Diba? Now, when we think about our situation today, now that the vaccine has arrived, but it will take time bago tayo mabakunahan. The key strategy is to live with the virus. The problem today of the Philippines is that there is no information campaign that is so strong that it reaches lahat ng Pilipino. Sad to say, we lost a big network that normally does this. Kaya mahirap sabihin yung mask, hugas, iwas. How many people will remember that? Diba? So, bakit mo kailangan gawin yan? Diba? And if I were to do it, very simple. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Marunong ka lang maghugas, you avoid it. Yun lang yung message. Diba? Now, as we try to prepare for the new normal, as we get ready to reopen the economy, we all are going to start a new ball game. This is a new startup for everybody.
Right.
Because marami na tayong kailangan gawin because of the pandemic. So we need to be able to provision. So if we have certain assets that we're able to look at long term, then we try to put some money. It doesn't necessarily have to be 20,000, 30,000, as little as 5,000. You don't have to buy so many all at the same time. Lalo na ngayon, when it comes to investment, ito yung laging gustong marinig ng mga millennials. Tina, there is no alternative investment. Ano ba yung Tina na yan? Kung nag-invest ka sa time deposit, nag-invest ka sa stock market, nag-invest ka sa let's say crypto, 'di ba? Ngayon, pag sinabi mong crypto, panalo ka. Because you've made more than 2,000% if you got it right.
If you got it right,
But since the last crisis, in global financial crisis, the inflation average from 2008 to today is around close to 4%. So if you put an investment in a time deposit, you only made like 2.6%. Talo ka na against inflation.
Lugi.
You're better off spending that money in the malls. Bakit? You can get 20-30%. Diba? Na mga discount. You don't get that from any investment now.
Jonas, hindi ka papagalitan ng mga casa people sa BDO, ha?
Hindi, but that's the practicality, diba? Pag bumili ka ng gamit na discount na 20-30%, nagpapagawa ka ng bahay, that's an investment in your house.
Yeah.
Diba? So, ganun dapat ngayon ang tingin mo. Kung kailangan mo mag-repair, dahil ngayon, ang office mo sa bahay.
Yes.
'Di ba? Hindi ka nabibili ng made in China, baka kailangan bilhin mo na yung mga made in US, made in Germany kasi long lasting, 'di ba?
Doon
The second thing,
saan dapat nilalagay ng mga tao ang ang pera nila?
okay. The next investment after bonds and time deposit is going to give you the stock market, which will at least, even though na bumagsak na tayo ng 4,000, now that we're at slightly below 7,000, you still made close to 11%.
Mhm.
So long-term investments are good sa equity pa rin. Remember, pag tiningnan mo yung stock market natin in the last 2 to 3 years, galing tayo ng 9,000. We're now at
9,000, yeah.
7,000, less than 7,000, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Last year, we came from 4,000. So nasa gitna tayo. We are still at a discount. So when are you going to start making that investment? Pag mataas na o mababa pa yung presyo?
Yeah,
Now,
tama.
the key question, of course, is what sectors will drive it?
Okay.
Diba? Alam natin na long term, babalik pa rin tayo because we're a growing economy. Ang average age ng Pilipino ngayon, nasa 24 and a half. All of us were there once.
Kasama tayo.
Pasok pa.
Diba? So, those who are below 24, diba, their dexterity, they're easily adaptable to the new normal today. Yung digital, magaling sila mag-StreamYard, Zoom, whatever. They can adapt. So that's actually good for our economy. Diba? They have to just learn this technical skill. They'll get jobs. That's why your BPOs are still thriving. So, once we're able to get free, whether it's in towards the end of 2021, when I say free, even yung mga senior, di ba? Kahit wala silang kasalanan, naka-house arrest sila. Di ba? So nararamdaman nila yung naramdaman ng former presidents ng Pilipinas na house arrest. Di ba?
House arrest.
So eventually, definitely babalik yung sigla ng consumption. Food, retail, and eventually property will eventually continue.
Mm.
If we were to think about the program of this administration, a building for our future, no? Yung Dutertenomics that Duterte presented in 2016, his 10-point agenda. Hindi ko na sasabihin yung 10 points. Sinortcut ko na yan.
Oo.
The first is build infrastructure. Diba? We have so many projects that eventually is thinking of going into the outside Metro Manila projects. Hindi lang yung tinatawag niya na Imperial Manila. The second is to develop social capital. We've seen a lot of improvements in our health facilities, social facilities. So, ginagawa na yan, including technical skill for Filipinos through TESDA.
Nice.
The third is eventually opportunities to seize. Ano ba yung opportunities na yan? That's agriculture, tourism, manufacturing. And of course, in the last State of the Nation address of Duterte, he revised it. By the way, kung makalimutan mo, very easy to remember, it's BDO. Di ba? So,
Ayan na.
di ba? Build infrastructure, develop
Kapit
social
mga best. Ito
capital,
na.
opportunities to seize.
BDO.
Opportunities to seize.
Okay.
BDO, always remember.
So last July, sinabi ni President Duterte, build infrastructure pa rin ang strategy. Because we need to be able to focus on the opportunities in agriculture, tourism, and manufacturing.
Right.
Diba?
Banking, kumusta? Ay,
Hindi, yung D binago niya, ginawa niya, we need to go for digitalization. And
So-
yung O, online services ng government.
Ayun, nakita ko na yon. Kaso lang, alam mo yung nakakainis, online na nga sila, pero yung payments nila, hindi pa rin. So, mag-online
That's
registration
why-
ka, tapos pupunta ka pa rin sa bangko para magbayad.
Hindi, kaya nga, but eventually, the central bank has eventually championed in trying to move into the digital
that's
payments.
true.
Yes, yes.
'Di ba? So, one step at a time.
Mm-mm.
Hindi tayo katulad ng developed economies. We have a lot of resources. So, talagang we have to make do of what we have. So,
Jonas-
even in our financial literacy, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Meron tayong kasabihan, kung maikli ang kumot, bumaluktot.
I'm sure may ibang version ka niyan. Ayan na.
Parang
May
cash.
itatanong ko ibang version. Jonas, a lot of our viewers are very, very curious. Your chosen spotlight stock for the week. I'm on purpose not calling it hot stock of the week because obviously what you're going to say is something more long-term. Spotlight stock for you. You chose two.
Yes. I chose eventually, first is Meralco. No? The reason why I like Meralco is definitely we're more digital now. 'Di ba? Even though that once we reopen, babalik yung sigla ng industry. Gagamit ulit tayo ng power. And because as we move to the new gadgets, which will need more electricity, ang tendency niyan, you'll need more power.
Yeah.
Diba?
There you go.
And at the same time, if we're able to move into renewable energies, definitely mas gagastos tayo.
Oh, ito na yung tinatanong mo, Aris. Okay, Aris Jonas is talking about renewable energy now.
So
Go
the
ahead.
distribution will still be there. So sa akin, pag nag-recover na tayo and we start reopening the economy, definitely demand of power will come back. So, and more of us will continue to use the digital technology. Di ba? So, naka-embed na sa atin na nakadikit na yung telepono sa atin. Di ba? So,
Over the
Bakit
short
hindi telco?
Go ahead.
Bakit hindi telco?
Telco.
distribution, okay, the distribution channel is very important. And the hidden factor also of Meralco is that it has digital assets as well. Plus, it also provides dividends.
Yes.
The
Yun.
lower the price of Meralco, the better for you because it gives you an additional close to 5% in dividend yields.
Anong target
Yes.
price
Diba?
mo, Jonas?
Well, eventually my target is a new high over the next 5 years.
Acquisition, best buy. When do you buy? At what price?
Okay. My outlook for the Philippine stock market, may konting bagsak pa yan. So anything closer to 200 or lower until to that trend line is a good opportunity to accumulate. I think the best word to probably say for Meralco and even URC is eventually accumulate. Diba?
Just keep buying.
Just keep accumulating.
Accumulating.
Diba? Okay.
Ayaw niya
There
ng buy,
are two
guys.
ways of doing
Accumulate.
it. There are some people who fear na, babagsak pa yung stock market, I'll wait later. My strategy that I always share when I do my financial literacy program, by the way, it's called Alcansaya. Diba?
Alcansaya. Yun.
Alcansaya.
Gusto ko yan.
Meaning,
Ngayon, there are two ways.
Masaya.
One is you buy when the market reverses. Pag biglang umakyat na, kasi sure ka na naaakyat. So that's probably over 250 na sigurado ka na bibili. Kasi nag-reverse na. Ngayon, meron akong tinatawag na planting rice strategy. Habang bumabagsak, bibili ako kasi discounted.
That's right.
Diba? Ngayon, ang problema ng planting rice, minsan, nakapag-plant ka na, binagyo ka ulit, bumagsak. Diba? So, ang nangyayari, killing me softly. Yun ang nangyayari. So, minsan, hindi practical na strategy yung ganyan. Diba? Kaya ako, depende sa it has to be just a regular. Kung may extra money ka, forget the price. Look at the long-term value. Because every 5 years, there is a normal 20 to 30% rise in equity prices.
Lagay natin
Okay.
dali.
Importante yan. Every 5 years, there is a 20% rise in equity prices. So,
Jonas,
may
we would love
recovery
to
po
know
ito.
about your second stop. We are
URC, yeah.
running out of time. Gusto ko ng isang oras pa with Jonas, but we can't go. Gusto ko sana
Okay.
ng mga half day ganyan seminar. How about your second stop?
Okay, the reason why I want URC is definitely it's a food and snack. Dahil bata yung you have a young workforce that is 24 and a half. Tsaka ngayon, pa-cute yung iba, 'di ba? Kunyari kakain lang sila ng konti. 'Di ba? So gusto nila yung mga chichirya na yan. They're happy with it. 'Di ba?
Yes.
Teka lang.
So,
URC or Mond Nisid?
sa akin, any. Remember, you don't have to buy 10. The most simple part of investing is try to keep it simple. Diba? You
Wait,
don't have to
Jonas,
buy
sorry,
10.
tara po na kita ha. May nag-comment sa Kumu eh. Sabi ni Samuel, feeling ko singer din si Sir Jonathan.
Testing.
Galing eh. Di ba? My boss, nasa Kumu din. Nag-hello din at maraming salamat sa mga natutunan. Back to what you were saying, sorry. Talagang dito putol-putol tayo. So,
Okay.
URC.
Ako, sometimes kasi with URC is that it's a food company. Diba? Whether you are in a tight spot or you're doing well, bibili ka ng chichirya.
Lalo na nga pag mahirap ang panahon, naghahanap ako ng ngangatain.
Exactly. Di ba? Yan ang mga binibili ngayon. That's why this type of essentials are good. I'm not saying that they're healthy, but meron ring healthy chicharon. Di ba?
Ay, ayoko ng lasa.
Mushroom.
Wait, para sa mga
Meron
nanonood
silang
daw.
healthy chicharon. So
But-
even Monde, if you want noodles, nandyan.
Oh,
Di ba?
Oh,
Yes.
comfort food. Pero ano
Exactly.
daw,
So-
buy below what price? Sorry, makulit sila.
No, I think when it comes to URC, the present level of prices is still going down. So relative to the prices, magandang bilhin ngayon yan. Again, my outlook for the stock market, it remains tentative. We're still looking at 6.5 to around close to 7,000 as a consolidation. Now, the market can still go down for these two stocks if we delay reopening the economy. Now that we have the last 2 days 3,000 yung cases natin.
Yes.
So, definitely, markets will also adjust. So, pag bumagsak yung stock market below 6.5, then there could be more volatility ahead. And if you read Julius Caesar, di ba? The tragedy of Julius Caesar, beware of the Ides of March.
Ayan na nga, ayan na. Papapasukin ko lang si DJ Nicole muna.
Yeah, DJ Nicole. Baka may question siya.
DJ Nicole, so that she can also ask questions. DJ Nicole, are you still there? And we will start posting because we're running out of time. Meron pa sanang nagtatanong kung pwede daw ma-extend yung choice of stocks mo to 3. Guys, i-invite ulit natin si Sir Jonas sa mga susunod na episode. Baka gawin nating 5.
Yan.
Choice niya.
No, pero kung gusto mo ng third, simple lang. The stock that has it all.
BDO.
Video?
Hindi. Iba yung amin.
SM.
Yung
SM.
amin, WFW.
We got it all for you.
Find ways. Sinabi yun ni Edric eh.
We find ways.
We find ways.
Sakto.
Yun ang strategy maganap ng pera. We
Yeah.
find ways.
Si DJ Nicole parang nag-notes.
SM.
Si Nicole, no, go Nicole. May questions ka ba kay kay Jonas?
Before we end the stream. Ay, naka-mute ka.
Naka-mute.
Miss Gorgeousness. Ayan. Oh, one more.
Nawala.
Wala ulit.
Bring it back.
Okay, wait. Habang inaayos natin yan, somebody said, Jonas Ravelas is really the man to depend on when it comes to economic and market overview. Hindi ko nagtanong sa kanya, ano yung, saan matatapos ang taon na saan ang PSEI at Forex?
Alright. I think for the exchange rate, I'm looking at 49.
49.
We're currently at around 48, 56.
Yeah, better.
So the assumption there is that the dollar will get stronger because of the demand for higher oil price.
Yeah.
will definitely create a demand for dollars.
Mhm.
Tapos pag tumaas yung importation natin, as we reopen the economy, demand for dollars will rise. Now for the stock
Rate of
market, our
inflation.
official forecast is around 7.6. This is our forecast as of December. It's quite high, to be honest, no? But if we further reopen the economy at a faster rate, then that's possible. If we further delay the reopening, let's say, mga third quarter or of this year, then maybe maswerte na tayo at 7,000.
7,000.
7,000.
All right.
So,
Oh my God.
accumulate, ba?
Yeah.
I think that the key word definitely is accumulate, especially that, next year is an important year for all of us. It's an election year. So the people who wants to run for office will all pay us. Diba? They will have to spend so that they will get elected. Diba?
Okay.
So kailangan, that's
Hi.
what creates
Ayun,
spending.
ayun. Go, DJ.
May sound na ba ako? Yan.
Meron na. Go,
Yeah.
go. Fire.
Ayan. No, I was just about to ask about, is it the best time to invest in dollars now? Kasi parang sa lahat ng bangkong napuntahan ko sa past week na ito, lahat sila nag-offer sa akin, may dollar account na po ba kayo?
Well, definitely buying dollars is an alternative, especially when there's still a lot of tentativeness in the economy because the U.S. economy is recovering. So when the U.S. economy starts to recover, definitely the attraction for dollars will be there. Diba?
Right na there's volatility in the last 2 weeks, diba? Because of what's happening there. But you also,
I think that the volatility was driven because of higher U.S. interest rates. So when a currency starts raising interest rate, it creates an attraction. So isipin mo na parang may dumaan na babae na naka-shorts. Kahit kasama mo asawa mo, mapapatingin ka, di ba? Ganun din ang ginagawa ng mga investors. Di ba? Napapalipat yung investment nila. Di ba? That's why you see a sell-off in the stock market. People buy dollars.
True.
It's because they are always attracted to where the yields are. Di ba? I'm just making it a very simple explanation.
I-plug na natin yung class mo on investments na medyo may kasamang
Safe sex on Ayala Avenue.
Yeah.
Guys, meron po, bago ko po i-end yung stream, I know this is a very nice stream. We're already learning a lot from Jonas. And obviously, press 1 if you want more of Jonas in Salvices. Marami ka palang followers dito, Jonas. Just like Nicole, sabi niya, he's a business called Twinning Collection. Very quickly, paano daw ba nagsimula yan? Hindi na natin, we can't go into the details because we're running out of time. But DJ, how did you start that idea?
It's actually a very, very new business. Bagong-bago lang siya. Established 2021. Yun. So I won't go into the details, kulang na tayo sa oras, but ang very important lang is for you to be able to collab with manufacturers. Dapat diretso tayo sa manufacturer para wala nang patong-patong-patong. Yun, para rekta na from the source. Yun.
Galing.
Okay. All right. We can't stay long anymore, guys. I'm so sorry, but before we end, before I go for final thoughts from our guest today, let me just tell everyone thank you for sharing the live stream and for following us on Salvices. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button so you know when we're going to have Jonas and DJ Nicole back. DJ Nicole back? Thank you, Lars.
Why not? Message ka lang.
Thank you so much. Please also follow us on Facebook, IG, Twitter, and Kumu. All Salvices. Warren and I will always be there. Eventually, magiging Warren says na rin yan. Tapos, meron po tayong guesting sa Brood Awakening on Monday. And we have a speaking engagement sa ating Financial Fitness Forum ng mga registered financial planners by the end of March. We'll just tell you when exactly, dahil nakalimutan ko po kung kailan
March 25? March 25?
March something.
25 yata.
Ayan, so please follow us para alam niyo po kung kailan tayo magsasalita. And then Warren, final words, and DJ Nicole, final words, and then Jonas, and then Warren.
Ayan. So thank you again, Salve and Warren, for having me. Sir Jonas, it's nice to meet you. Ayan, maraming salamat. Ang iksi ng oras, ang dami pa nating gustong matutunan. And so that's always the reason why we should always, tune in sa mga susunod na mga episodes kasi yung mga questions natin sa current na episode ay maaaring masagot sa mga susunod na episodes. But isang lesson na natutunan ko sa panahon ng pandemya, hindi dapat maging gastadora. Alam nyo, nagkaalaman ngayong panahon ng pandemya kung sino ang may ipon at wala, 'di ba? 'Di ba nagkaalaman kung sino nakapag-ipon, kung sino yung kahit paano nakapaghanda. And of course, this has taught us to always save up. Na just in case dumating yung isa na naman, hopefully not naman, 'di ba? At least mananatili kang maganda sa gitna ng lahat.
I love it! I love it! Oh, sana regular ka na dito. Okay, so Jonas, before you speak, very quick lang, nagtatanong sila kung may YouTube channel ka, kung pwede daw bang mag-open ng video account without personal appearance, at idol ka daw talaga ng mga tao dito.
Unfortunately, we're still working on our digital opening of accounts. So it will take time. Of course, it's very easy to open an account. In fact, just to tell everybody, right now, the BAP, the Bankers Association of the Philippines, is creating a bank-wide network for biometrics. So this eventually enhances the protections of all investors. So yung fingerprint mo, yung for face detection will all be made, no? So I guess the last words for financial literacy, sulit o harang, 'di ba? I think if you have extra money, this is the time to take a leap of faith in your country, 'di ba? So ako, my favorite mantra is fortune favors the brave.
Yeah.
So this is the time to invest in our country. Wala nang iba pa kundi ngayon. Thank you. Maraming
Partner Warren.
Ang ganda ng mga sinabi ng mga guests natin. Si DJ, I love how you're expanding your income streams by starting a new business. 2021, may pandemya pa. She's being bold, just like what Sir Jonas said. You know, find ways to earn more money. And of course, Sir Jonas, always Johnny on the spot with the market outlook. Ang galing na mga binigay niya sa atin na tips. Look out for some investment and invest. Spend on assets kasi lugi tayong lahat sa inflation. So, thanks again guys for coming on the show, Sir Jonas and DJ Nicole. Thank you so much.
Partner Warren, saan ka ba mapapanood ng ating mga viewers dito? At of course, si DJ Nicole, alam niyo na kung saan siya mapapanood. Please follow her on IG, on Facebook. She has Facebook fan pages. Partner Warren, saan ka nila mapapanood?
Yes, please watch us on ABS-CBN ANC, and I'm on Twitter at WD De Guzman at Twitter, and of course on Kumu as well. Meron na ako doon, kaso lang hindi pa complete yung yung profile ko. Tatapusin ko pa.
Okay, tutulungan ka namin dyan. Alam niyo po talaga si Partner Warren ay ngayon palang nagigising sa social media dahil lagi siyang nagpapatulog ng baby niya. Kaya yung mga lalaki po, yung mga fathers dyan na nagpapatulog ng baby, kayo po ay sexy. Katulad ng also mga fathers na nagsispreadsheet ng kanilang mga
diba? Yun yung kailangan.
Mapapanood niyo po ulit kami dito every Saturday, Financial Saturday in Salveses. Kung gusto niyo pong matuto sa mga eksperto kung paano mag-handle ng pera, gawin niyo pong regular watching habit ang Salveses every 8 to 9 p.m. on Saturdays. At tatandaan lang po, transforming yourself into the best version of yourself doesn't have to be painful. Kailangan nyo lang 8 to 9 p.m. every Saturday.
Saturday.
So maraming salamat po sa pagsama sa amin ngayong gabi. Don't forget, subscribe to the Salveses YouTube channel. Follow us on our other social media accounts and Kumu as well. Maraming salamat guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you to our beautiful and handsome guests. Salamat po,
Happy weekend.
everybody.
Happy weekend. Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Happy weekend.
Happy weekend. Oh, Saturday distressing outlet niya daw ito. Oh, diba?
Yun.
Thank you!
Thank you, everyone.